Hey guys, it's Audra. Welcome to another video. So, I had a request to do a video about people who binge on Thanksgiving. And what are you going to do about that? Did you binge yesterday on Thanksgiving? I did not, because I have no desire to binge. When you are eating enough food and you're eating the foods you actually like, and you're eating enough calories and you're eating enough carbs and you're eating enough, just food in general, you're not going to want to binge. Like, you're not going to have a desire to binge. The only people who want to go binge are the ones who have restricted in some way or another. Now, granted, there are people who binge for emotional reasons and stuff like that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who literally, like, you always hear, like, for example, I know so many people, they'll say, oh my gosh, like, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to eat all day today, and I'm going to go and eat all day tomorrow. Basically just had this huge binge fest. Or if you're on a diet, then you're like, oh, Thanksgiving Day is my cheat day and I get to eat whatever I want. It's that type of mentality. It's where you restrict, and then like a special day comes, probably your birthday, maybe it's just Saturday or Friday night, maybe it's the whole weekend, maybe it's Thanksgiving, maybe it's Christmas, maybe it's Halloween, maybe it's the 4th of July, like maybe it's some type of holiday, or like it's a wedding, or it's a party, or it's just like one day of the week, like you save up all of your calories, or you don't really save them up, you just like restrict all week, and then you say, okay, like I'm gonna go have a cheat day or a cheat meal and I'm just gonna binge out on food. Or maybe you don't even like save anything up, like maybe you just say, oh, it's Thanksgiving, everybody's just supposed to go binge a ton. And that's not the case. Like, if you are constantly eating enough food to like make you feel good and satisfied all the time, then you will not want to do this. Tip number 1 is don't restrict yourself. Don't restrict yourself the week before, the month before, the day before, the meal before. Like, don't do that. You're just setting yourself up to go and binge. Like, that's what your whole, like, that's what your body is trying to tell you. That's the whole point. Your body is basically saying, hey, like, I'm starving, please, let's just eat a ton of food. So what happens? You eat a ton of food, and then after that you feel literally like disgusting. Like, you want to just go to sleep. You want to like, maybe you want to go throw up, maybe you want to start taking laxatives, maybe you want to go exercise it all off. Like, whatever purging that you're using, that's what you do. It's really cold, sorry. That's what a lot of people do, and it's horrible. Not only is it horrible, like, for your mind, because you're constantly in this like binge restrict cycle, but it's also really bad for your metabolism, okay? Your metabolism doesn't work well with extremes like that. When you start cutting stuff and start like cutting back your calories very, very drastically, or exercising way too much, or doing a combination of the two, and then you skip like meals, or you skip not just meals, but you skip like like big portions of calories that you should be eating. So maybe you go on a really low calorie, low carb diet for a week or a month or however long, or just a few days, and then you go and you binge on a ton of food, and then you restrict again. Your body is like, whoa, like, what is going on? Why are you doing this to me? Like, why can't you just feed me like normally every single day? Why do you have to do all these extremes? And again, I've mentioned this before, this is exactly how I ended up gaining over 65 pounds, because I thought I could outsmart my body, and I could be like, oh, hey, like, I'll just diet all week long, and then on the weekends or like a holiday or something, I'll go and have a cheat meal, and I won't gain any weight, like, it's really good for me. This is what everybody does. Everybody overeats on Thanksgiving or whatever. But over time, you're messing up your metabolism, and your body is just going to store more fat in the meantime. So your best bet is to just eat healthy and eat a good amount of food that your body needs, not what some random person on the internet is telling you to eat, but what your body needs on a day-to-day basis. And then you won't have this feeling. Now, if you have been restricting for a really long time and you have like severe eating disorder issues, like, you're gonna want to eat a ton. So go watch my other videos on like extreme hunger and binging and that type of thing. But this is more for those people who like, like, you're consciously telling yourself like, oh, like, it's Thanksgiving coming up, I'm not gonna eat, I'm just gonna go binge out. And then what happens, like this is the worst thing about this. Most people usually do this, and then what do? The next day, if they don't throw it up or they don't go exercise it off or they don't do anything like that, the next day, what do? They restrict. So you wake up today and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I had so much pecan pie and so much like other random food that I probably normally wouldn't eat that much of. I feel horrible, and now like I'm just not gonna eat all day long. And in your mind, you're thinking that like offsets everything that you did, but it doesn't offset at all. It makes it even worse because now you're back in this restrict cycle. So all it's gonna do is at some point today or tomorrow or whenever your body deems it necessary, you're going to go and binge again because your body is starving again. So you have to get back on a normal eating pattern. If you binged out yesterday like crazy and you ate more than you have in like years, it's okay. Do not throw it up. Don't go take laxatives. Don't go use skinny teas. Don't go try to get on the elliptical for 6 hours. Don't do whatever you're trying to do to get that food out of you. Let it digest, let it process in your body, and start eating normally like this morning, okay? Go eat some breakfast, eat some lunch, eat some dinner, have some snacks, whatever. But the worst thing you can do is restrict, because all you're gonna do is you're gonna binge again, and then you're gonna restrict, and then you're gonna binge, and then you're gonna restrict, and then you're gonna binge, and you're stuck in the cycle. So that is the worst thing you can do. And honestly, the binge restrict cycle is what causes so many people to gain so much weight. It's just a yo-yo diet is all that it is. Restricted. And you would think, like, this is what I thought, at least. I thought, okay, you know what? I'm smarter than my body. Like, 5 days worth of restriction is gonna do better for me than, you know, 1 day of just eating whatever I wanted. But that's not true. 5 days of restriction, let's say I was eating like, I don't know, let's say 1,500 calories a day, okay, for 5 days. What is that? That's 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. That's 7,500 calories, okay, for a week. Now, on 2 days, I go and I binge out, and each day I eat 5,000 calories each. So I'm eating 10,000 calories in 2 days, okay? So I eat 10,000 calories in 2 days versus 7,500 calories in 5 days. That whole binge thing that I just did on the weekend totally just offset everything that I just did that week. So what happened over time, I'm gonna gain weight because I just ate way more than I normally should have. So what I should have done to begin with was not even go on a 1,500 calorie a day diet. I should have eaten a good amount of calories for my body, and if I was really craving stuff, I should have given myself a little bit of those foods every single day. That way I'm not setting myself up for feeling like I'm deprived or restricted or whatever. And I talked about this in another video, but like my thing was cookies. Like I loved cookies, and if I ever like started restricting cookies, then that's all I thought about was cookies. So then I would end up binging out on cookies. But then once I finally figured out like cookies aren't the devil, like they're not gonna kill me, and I would just give myself like 1 or 2 cookies a day, I could still eat good foods and still have my cookies and still be healthy and still lose weight. So you don't have to have these huge binges, and honestly, they're just gonna make things worse. And it's really not the binge that's the whole problem. That's just your body's like way of saying feed me. I mean, that's like survival. What the problem is the restriction. So you have to stop restricting. If you don't stop restricting, like you're never gonna stop binging. And another thing, a part of the restricting is exercise. If you're exercising like a crazy person and all you do is just like ride your bike up mountains all day and swim across rivers and run across the country and like sit on the elliptical for 15 hours a day, then you're gonna be hungry. Like I don't like, people, think about it this way. If you are exercising, you are burning calories, okay? If you are exercising so much to where you're burning too many calories, your body's gonna be hungry and it's gonna want to eat. So it's gonna make you go eat. There's no amount of like willpower or self-control that you can have that your body is not going to like fight you back on. Like you might be able to do it for a little while, but at some point, if you're in an extreme calorie deficit and you're doing extreme amounts of exercise, making it even a bigger calorie deficit, you're gonna be eating a ton of food. Like, your body's gonna be starving, and the longer that you keep trying to have that self-control, like, and think that you're doing good by not feeding yourself, then the more of a binge and a rebound you're setting yourself up for. This is why I say when you lose weight, you have to lose super slow. Like, the slower the better. You don't have to do a ton of exercise to lose weight, and you don't have to cut calories a lot to lose weight. You have to just do it in a slow way, super slow, because if you don't, it's gonna be like Thanksgiving. You're gonna end up restricting so much and being on your like 1,200 calorie a day diet, and then come the weekend, or come Thanksgiving, or come your birthday, or come your kid's birthday party, or whatever, you're gonna be like the woman over there with your face in the cupcakes and the pizza, and then going home and finishing them off when everybody's gone because you're so freaking hungry. So that's my tip. I know this is kind of all over the place, but like, moral of the story is, do not restrict. Do not worry if you end up overeating, whatever, like, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Just don't restrict again. That's the biggest thing. It's not the binge that's the problem. It's the restriction that is the problem. So don't blame it on the binging. People are always like, I'm such a binge eater, I can't stop binging. That's not the problem. Like, I'm not worried about you binging. I'm worrying about, why are you binging? Let's go to the root of the cause. The cause is because you're restricting. So stop restricting. And then you won't binge. And then you can go to Thanksgiving and just eat a normal plate of food and go on with your life. And enjoy Thanksgiving for what it is. It's not about food. Like, it's about being with your family, being with friends, having fun, having a day off work if you're off work. If not, I'm sorry, I know it sucks while you're on Thanksgiving. But it's just about having a day and being thankful. Like, you don't have to, don't place so much emphasis on food on Thanksgiving or other get-togethers. It's not that big of a deal. I'm sorry, there's these dogs that are going nuts over here. So that's that. I hope it's helpful for you guys. End of the story, moral of the story is, just don't restrict, and then you won't binge. That's it. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.